Hello everyone, welcome to the session on compilers. In this session, we'll be discussing about symbol table. In this session, we will see what we mean by symbol table, what kind of information is stored in the symbol table, and we will also go for the discussion of different data structures that are used for the symbol table. Friends, as you know that you are viewing this session on my YouTube channel, Learn with Prakash Kanade, and do subscribe to the channel to see many videos on the subjects of electronics and computer science. So let us start the session with the question what we mean by symbol table. In case of block diagram of compiler, we know that there are different phases of the compiler such as lexical analyzer, syntax analyzer, semantic analyzer, and code generator. In the block diagram, we have already seen that there is one block that is being associated with all the phases of the compiler. And this block is being called as the symbol table. So symbol table is a special data structure that is used to store relevant information of all the names that appears within the program. So the identifiers, variable, constants, procedures, functions, whatever the names appear within your source program, the information related with all these names is stored in a special data structure, and this data structure is being called as the symbol table. And whenever compiler needs to find out the information related with these names, then it will extract this information from the symbol table. Symbol table may exist only in memory during the compilation process. So there is a existence of the symbol table in the memory and it is not stored on the hard drives. Sometimes the symbol table is also embedded in the output of the compiler as an object file. So whenever it is necessary to have the symbol table and its information that is being required at runtime, then it is being embedded in the output of the compiler. Symbol table, as I told you, is a special data structure which will contain the information such as the name of the variable or name of the identifier or name of the function, its type, and the scope of the symbol or the existence of the symbol. And symbol table, as shown in this diagram, is being linked with all the phases of the compiler. So every phase of the compiler will require an access to the symbol table. So for example, we have written a short code as shown over here, which consists of the different variables such as bar, x, then this function name foo, then this parameter count, then this variable sum, then this variable I. So this is a short code which consists of different names or different symbols such as bar, x, foo, count, sum, and I. So you can expect the symbol table to contain the information such as the symbol name, then its type, and then its scope. Say for example, bar is a function name of which the type is double and its scope is external. X is a double variable and it is a function parameter. foo is a function name of the type double and its scope is global. Count is an integer variable and it is a function parameter. Sum is a double variable of which the scope is local or block local. I is an integer variable and it is being used in the for loop statement. So you can expect that whenever you write such type of the code, then the different names that appears within this code will appear in the symbol table and the information related with these names will be stored in the symbol table. Now let us understand what are the contents of the symbol table. Symbol table will contain the various attributes of the variables. Say for example, a symbol table will contain the name of the symbol. The symbol table will contain its object code address or memory address. The symbol table will contain the type of the symbol, what is its data type. The symbol table will contain the dimension or the number of parameters of the function. So if it is an array variable, then the number of dimensions will also be stored in the symbol table. The symbol table will also consist of the source line number where the variable is defined, so that the compiler can keep track of the variable name. The source line number where the variable is being referenced is also contained in the symbol table. So as shown over here, suppose we have the two procedures P1 and P2, then initially we can have the contents in the symbol table of P1 and P2 such that these are the procedures of which the scope is global. In P1, we have the different variables or different symbols such as A, B, and E, where these are of the type integer, and these are just nothing but the function parameters or procedure parameters. Then also we have the different variables in the procedure P2, such as H, I, and L, of which the type is integer, and they are also the procedure parameters. Again, we can have the different other symbols such as C, D, where they are of the type integer and their scope is the local or inner loop. Then we have the parameters F and G, of which the type is integer and the scope is inner or local. Then we have the parameters or symbols such as J and K, of which the type is integer and its scope is inner or local. So such type of the information you can expect to be contained in the symbol table. Also, the symbol table will consist of the link field for testing in the alphabetical, for listing in the alphabetical order. Now, there are certain operations that we need to do on the symbol table. A compiler need to perform certain operations on the symbol table. So, for example, the two common operations that are frequently needed to perform on the symbol table are insert. So, insert is operation where the new symbol is being inserted into the symbol table and the pointer is written to its entry. Another operation that is being frequently performed by the compiler is lookup. So a symbol is being searched in the symbol table and a pointer is written for its entry. So insertion is normally performed only once, but as far as the searching of the name is concerned, compiler may need to do this operation very frequently on the symbol table. Apart from these two operations, you will find that there are certain other operations that also can be performed on the symbol table. Say, for example, it is required that we need to remove all the entries from the symbol table, and this operation can be called as a free operation. Also, we can allocate a new empty symbol table for a source code, and this is to be called as an allocation or allocate. Also, it is necessary to make an access of the attributes of the symbol. So whenever we decide uh, the type of the data structure that is to be used for the symbol table, then the type of the data structure will be decided upon what type of operations that are frequently needed to be performed on the symbol table. So the data structure for the symbol table is selected such that these operations can be performed in a very efficient manner. Now let us go for understanding what are the different data structures that are being used for the construction of the symbol table. So these are the different data structures that are used for the construction of the symbol table. The first one is called as the list. The second one is called as the linked list. The third one is the hash table. And the fourth one is the binary search tree. So list is the very common data structure or most easy data structure that can be used for the construction of the symbol table. So list, you can say it is an array, and this array is being used to store the names and their associated information. So as shown over here, we can have an array where the first column will consist of the variable name and the second column will consist of its data type or other information, and also it will consist of the information related with the space or bytes. So this data structure will have a pointer available, and this pointer available is maintained at the end of all store records. And whenever we want to add any new name in this array, then it can be added at the position pointed by the pointer available. To search a new name, we need to start from the beginning, and many times we need to compare all the names in order to search a given name. So while inserting the new name, we must ensure that that is already not there. Otherwise, an error will occur. That is the multiple defined name error will occur. So insertion operation can be performed very fast as far as the array is concerned, because it is of the order of 1. But the searching or lookup is very slow for the large table, and it is of the order of n. So if there are n names within the symbol table, then many times we need to perform n comparisons in order to search for a given name. And therefore, this data structure is not very efficient as far as the searching of the element is concerned. The only advantage with this data structure is that it will require a minimum amount of the space. Another data structure that is being used for the creation of the symbol table is called as the linked list. So in the linked list, there is a link field, and this link field is added to each record. And this link field will point to the next record of the list. So searching of the name is done in order pointed by the link of the link field. So a pointer first is there, which is maintained to point to the first record of the symbol. And then at the end, we will have a null, which will indicate the end of the records. So as far as the insertion operation of this data structure is concerned, insertion is very fast and it is of the order of 1, but the searching is quite slow and it is of the order of n for the large table. And therefore this data structure is also not very efficient as far as the searching of the name is concerned. So another data structure that is being popularly used for the creation of the symbol table is the binary search tree. So the symbol table can be implemented by using the binary tree as shown over here. That is, we can add the two fields, the left field, the left child and the right child. So every node will have a left child and it will have a right child, so that it will form a structure like a tree. All names are created as child of the root node that always follow the property of the binary search tree. So as far as this data structure is concerned, one can easily find that this is a very efficient data structure compared to the list or linked list, because here the insertion and lookup both are of the order of log n to the base 2 on an average. The last data structure that is being very commonly used for the creation of the symbol table is called as the hash table. And this is most commonly used method to implement the symbol table. In hashing scheme, there are two tables maintained. The first table is called as the hash table and another table is called as the symbol table. So hash table, you can say it is an array with the index range from 0 to table size minus 1. These entries are pointers actually, and they point to the names of the symbol table. To search for a given name, we use a hash function. So we need to write a program for the hash function. And this hash function will return an integer value in the range of 0 to table size minus 1. So depending upon the value written by the hash function, then the corresponding pointer will take us to the corresponding name. So one can easily find that this is very efficient data structure, and the insertion and lookup are very fast and they are of the order of 1. So only one comparison many times is needed in order to enter the variable or in order to search the variable name. So the advantage of this data structure that the quick search is possible, but the disadvantage of this system is that it is necessary to write the hash function, and writing of the hash function is very complicated. So it is not an easy thing to implement the hash function. So this data structure needs we needs to write the hash function, and once you are able to write the hash function, then one can easily implement it as shown in this diagram. So it will have a hash table which will consist of some numbers, and then each number will point to a record, and this table is being called as a symbol table, where it will consist of the name and other attributes or information, and also it will consist of a link field where it will point to the next element in the list. So thank you friends for viewing the session. Hopefully you have understood what we mean by symbol table and how they are used or how they are implemented. Thank you all for